Hi there, I'm Ben and welcome to part 4 of my full platinum walkthrough for Dark Souls 3. This video we're going to Road of Sacrifices. This area is simple enough, but it doesn't go so well. You'll find out later on. You get invaded quite easily when you're in Road of Sacrifices. So going in embered might not be the best of ideas. So first thing I'm doing here is I'm going to purchase the white sign Soapstone. I'm going to show you how to, or just to kind of explain how to get summoned into other people's worlds so that you can earn sunlight medals, one of the Covenant items that we need. So if you buy that, the Soapstone, and then when you're outside of a boss that you've already done, you can put the Soapstone down and it'll put a sign down. Somebody else in another world, as long as they're embered, can see your sign and then summon you. There are bosses which were a lot more popular than others, obviously the more difficult ones. So yeah, you want to start sort of doing that. I'll explain when we get to a boss kind of what to do there. But yeah, you do need to actually beat a boss. You can't just get summoned and sort of walk around and help somebody in the world. So that's why you need to put it in front of a boss gate, fog, whatever, really. Buy some more arrows as well. You can never have enough, really. And then make sure that you have, and you can see the sort of diamond here, this is your Covenant item, so make sure you've got the Warrior of Sunlight equipped. So you can see at the top left corner I've got a little sun there now. That means I'm in the Sunlight Warrior Covenant. If I get summoned into somebody else's world now, help them defeat a boss, I will get a Sunlight Medal and they will get a Sunlight Medal. It's best to kind of start it now. There is another more conventional way to farm Sunlight Medals by killing enemies, same enemy over and over again, but it's actually easier to help people with bosses. I'll also be showing the other way as well in case the game ever goes offline. Right, off we go on Road of Sacrifices. We have a new enemy type. These guys are actually quite easy because as soon as you run to them, they start transforming. Once they transform, they're a real pain in the ass. But you can get to them quite quickly and kill them before they do transform. So that Shriving Stone, whatever you want to call it, that will remove infusions from weapons. We're not going to use that, to be honest. So quickly run up here. You did see that there was two more to my right. If you stick to the left-hand side around that tree, go for this mage-looking one first. It will cause the other ones to transform if you don't go for him first. It'll make like a scream and then all hell will break loose. So you can see how deadly they are once they transform. I have been switching to two-handed and trying to L1. That did not go well at all. First of not quite a few, but a couple of errors on my part in this one. Just wasn't on my A game, let's put it that way. Not that I have an A game. C+. Yeah, so run over and kill these guys. This one, so if you would have run to the two on the right-hand side instead of going for the kind of mage who spits poison out, a poison mist out if you don't kill him. He'll awaken all of them, and that one would have come and got you as well. You can see there's another mage in the distance there. He's going to be our target in the next area when we get there. So go back this way now to carry on, and we're going to drop down and go and meet an old friend. If you played Dark Souls 1 and what have you, I think she's in 2. Is she in 2? I can't remember now. In 1, similar. I don't think it's actually her, but the similar type is. I think she's called Miranda, isn't she, with a butcher knife? Is it Miranda? I really should have researched this beforehand. But anyway, look at the tracking on her. She hits extremely hard. This is the weapon I used for Dark Souls 2 guide, the butcher knife. It doesn't work the same way in this one, so I don't use it. But you can see she hits extreme. That's when you want to go and make sure you get rid of her. So double hand and then go in with the L1. She's actually quite weak with regards to taking damage. And she's trying to hit you very quickly and hard. And the tracking is unbelievable. You cannot get behind her. You saw that. She just did a 180 out of nowhere. Fairly standard NPC to fight. Does take a lot of damage. Then we'll go down here. You don't actually have to come down here, but if you accidentally walk down here, she'll run after you, so be aware more than anything. If you kind of wander down here by accident, she will chase after you. She does drop the weapon, but unlike in Dark Souls 2, it's not there all the time. The health gain, you need to use the weapon art, which is it uses the blue bar. So yeah, I don't use it. It's not as good as it was. Up here we've got another Titanite Shard. You should have more than enough Titanite Shards, the entry level upgrade material by now. We'll start upgrading at the end of this video. We'll start doing the bow, so that will do more damage if we use it. And don't use it often. Now, what you might think I'm doing here is a bit weird. So I'm making a backup save because this jump is quite a difficult one. It's more of a roll actually. There is actually another way down here, but I don't want to wake up any of those weird bird people things. So that jump, you can see I'm right on the edge. It's quite difficult. Now you don't need to go this way. I'll show you another way in a moment, but I definitely don't want to wake any of those things up. I'll explain it in a moment. So yeah, we're going to go down here, look out for the two dogs, pick up the Morne's Ring and the Braille Divine Tome of Carim. That we're going to give to the Miracle Lady, and she's going to be able to teach us more miracles. So the normal way you would come down is go towards the bridge and drop down here, so from above there, and drop down and then walk around this way, and then you can get to the dogs. But there are some of those creatures, and there's a mage one as well on the bridge at the top. You don't want to wake them up before you are ready to take care of them. So there's another one, pink eye. You go this way. If you go this way and drop down on them all, you can kill them before they kind of transform and become a problem. See, they don't really transform. But if you go across the bridge, all hell will break loose. So I just didn't want to go anywhere near the bridge, really. Get this one quickly. There is one on the bridge. He has transformed, yes. Because this guy's alerted everyone now. So we'll just get him. Or her. And the next one is going to jump off for us, which is nice. And that's all of them. Bye then. Ember here. Can never have too many embers. So if you want to take the risk, and you might get away with it. I'll actually just show you here as well. If you stick to the wall, you might get away with it and drop behind this tree. Here, you go round here. You might get away with it, but they might also see you. So that's why I go the other way. It happened once and put me off. And that's it for Road of Sacrifices. Well, not really. Well, I suppose technically is. Road of Sacrifice, we're actually just entering it now. Weirdly. I don't know what that kind of... I'm sure it flashed up with that before. I don't know why it does it twice. Anyway, we have Anri here and his friend. I can't remember it. Why can't I remember it? Did I write it down? No, I didn't. We'll get to him in a minute. Basically, exhaust Anri's dialogue and then go and speak to this guy here who doesn't actually say anything, and you'll join the Blue Covenant, get the trophy, and got the Blue Sentinels Covenant, get the trophy. But make sure you exhaust Anri's dialogue. If you are a female character, Anri will be a male. If you're a male like I am, then Anri will be a female. This is the next part of our ending that we're going for, the usurpation ending. So make sure you exhaust dialogue with both of them. Not that you can do it with... What is his name? Right, hang on. I'm going to go and have a look. Horace. I'm back. Horace. Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? Yeah, Horace. They're very, very... They're the most important part. One of the most important parts of the ending. So just speak to them for now and they'll move on, and that's fine. And we're actually going to get a new NPC appear in Firelink Shrine as well. These guys here, these got red eyes. These are very dangerous. So if you're able to get behind them like that, then do so. These little insects, they will sometimes do a poison cloud. Poison's not that bad in this game. You can kind of heal through it. We have that new ring on, the left eye ring, which you'll see do some work later on. But if you can get behind those ones with the cross on the back, obviously they can't be backstabbed. But if you do L1, you'll take care of them pretty quickly. Crystal Lizard there, we'll need to attack that from the other side. We'll do that later on. Stick to this balcony. You can see just there, you might have just seen there's a Black Knight. Now these guys are no joke. This is where we're going next. Actually, not next. After video 6 will be there. Yeah, the Black Knight is no joke. So we're actually just making a bit of a detour here. So he will kill you in maybe one hit, definitely two. Yeah, we're not going to fight him, don't worry. What we're going to do is get his attention. You could probably get away with dropping down behind him if his back's turned to you. He might not come and get you. You can actually see that we just picked up the Sellsword set, and we're going to pick up the Sellsword Twinblades. We literally have all of that stuff equipped right now, so no need for us to have it unless you want to and you chose an earlier class. But the most important part is this Farron coal down here. Now, to infuse certain weapons, you need certain coals. We now have the Farron coal, which is the one that we need to infuse with sharp. Infuse weapons with sharp, which is what we want to do. Going to make our weapon a lot better. I'm going to bone out of here and go straight to the shrine bonfire, just in case the Black Knight tries to get us. This is our new NPC. She's called Cirrus. She's part of a conflicting storyline, that we need her for a ring and we need another NPC for a gesture, and you can't do both in a single playthrough. So Cirrus, we are going to keep around for now, but she is going to disappear because she's going to get angry at something we do later. So give the smith here, Blacksmith Andre, give him the coal, and then go to infusions, go to the Sellsword Twinblades, obviously the plus ones that you have been upgrading, and then you equip a sharp gem on it. That's going to infuse it and make a sharp Sellsword Twinblades. It now scales even better with the dexterity that we're doing, making them hurt more basically, which is good stuff. We did get that Braille tome. This is for the miracle lady here. She's obviously blind, so she needs Braille tomes.
Do you wish to hear a tale?
So if you speak to her,
You only have to ask.
and then go to give divine tome, and then give her the tome, and that's going to allow you to purchase more miracles from her, which we're not going to do now, but we do need to do in the future. These guys will stay around till the very end, so we're just going to keep giving them the tomes, getting gestures and what have you, and then you can start purchasing them now, but it's better to spend your souls on upgrades now, to be honest, unless you a miracle build, of course. So here's the miracles that we have. Not going to be using any of them ourselves. And then we're going to get out of here. So the conflicting storyline we'll kind of deal with in the next 2 videos. But we're going to do Cirrus's one in New Game Plus. It doesn't take much in the way of deviation at all from the main sort of path. So we'll do that in New Game Plus. You'll hardly notice that we're doing it, to be honest. It's just a little invasion we'll do. So make sure you have 10 intelligence right now. You should have, if you're the same as me. Haven't upgraded the intelligence, you start with 10. And then I'm just putting 1 in vitality just to make sure I can still medium roll, because I'm going to be changing my armor. But it is actually lighter. But I just want to have an extra point in there. Leave me alone. No, just in case. And then we're going to go back to Road of Sacrifices. Back to the very start. Now here's where the wheels kind of come off a bit. Kind of. I'm going to get invaded. If you're embered in this area, there's a high chance you'll get invaded. It's one of those areas where other players kind of hang out and invade others. And it can be a real pain. Because you don't want to. You're PvE. You're trying to get through the game. And they think because they've invaded you, you want to fight them. And it's not the case at all. Sometimes you can turn your back on them, kind of run away. They'll get the message and leave. They get it, some of them get it, and just kind of leave you alone, and it's fine. It is rare. I'm poisoned now, by the way. You're going to see that it's kind of chipping away at my health, but you're going to see the ring actually do some work, and I'll be regaining health. It's very slow, the poison drain in this game, so you can actually deal with it pretty simply. So I'm cleaning these guys out again, just in case, because I was expecting another invasion to happen, an NPC one. But I do die, so I don't do it. The most important invasion from the in-game NPC that is not a player happens in video 6. Now these guys look pretty simple. They die in 2 hits. They're carrying sticks. I mean, what's so bad about them? Do not underestimate these ones. These are some of the harder sort of generic enemies in the game. They charge at you and they will go straight through your shield and do a lot of damage. If you get caught 2 or 3 of them at a time, they'll kill you. Like, you won't even see it happen. It's so fast. They are slow when they slam on the floor, so you can kill them there quite quickly. So yeah, if you don't want to get invaded in this area, then maybe don't be embered. but be prepared if you are that you might. Chances will be high. And like I said, some will get the idea, get the message and leave you alone. Some think it's funny, even if you don't want to fight back, and they have some weird moral victory from it, even though you didn't want to do it. Yeah, like, I don't know. Yeah, we've all encountered people like that online. But yeah, sometimes it will just leave you. So we're just making our way round. There is actually another bonfire coming up. You can see, look in the top corner of my health in a moment. So there's a big group of these insects down here. And you're going to see the ring put in massive work in a moment. So the ring sort of goes off succession of hits. So you watch the health jump all the way up. And that was... I think it's kind of right. I'm not exactly sure of the exact percentages of how it works. Usually it's just a little bit. I did not expect that to happen. I'd never noticed that happen before, to be honest. But that was from that ring, a succession of hits. It must be because I killed 3 or 4 enemies at a time. But yeah, it's kind of negating the poison, so it's fine. So take it easy around here. There are quite a few of these ones with the big branches. There's a group of 3 down there. You can just kind of make them out by the water's edge. Ignore them for now. 3 is not fun with those guys. We're going to go around this way. There's another couple. 2's okay if you can get rid of 1 pretty quickly. But yeah, it's unbelievable amount of damage these guys do. And then kind of look for the building on the left. And then go towards the water, and then look for this archway. And if you go up here onto this little clearing, you'll see there's another bonfire. So rest if you need to. I don't need to, so I'm not going to. The poison's worn off now, so I'm fine. And we're going to go round and kind of work our way around this building, picking things up. This here is Hodrick. Is it Hodrick? Yes, it's Hodrick. I've written that name down. Mad Phantom. So the way Mad Phantoms work, he's the one that invaded us in the previous video in Undead Settlement. Mad Phantoms attack you, they attack other enemies, they just mad. So if you want to summon him, go for it. You don't need to. But if you want to mess around, and it doesn't do any damage if you do it, so yeah, if you want to mess around, get him, see if you can get him to kill some enemies. I don't know. Anyway, Estus Shard, make sure you grab that. And then there's a couple of these guys, you can sneak up on them, behind them. They are a bit of a weird enemy. They don't really wake up. Like, I'm right next to that guy there, and they don't wake up very easily, so you can get the drop on them quite easily. And now we just kind of have the water to explore, and this is when I'm about to get invaded. And I should have won this. I should have cut this out as well. It does go on for a bit, but I thought I'd just leave this one example in, to be honest. So there are small crabs and there are large crabs. This room here, I'm just going to duck in here to grab a ring. There's going to be one of those guys on the right here. See, this one wakes up straight away, and you can see how quick they are, and they hit extremely hard. You need to take care of them quickly. Don't mess around with them. Sorcerer's gear here, and most importantly the Sage's ring. We don't need it, we're not going to use it. It's for miracles. Sorceries, not miracles. Thought when I was saying that then. Yeah, obviously if you use them, it might come in handy. We just need it for the collection. So I'm trying to kill these smaller ones. You can see the large one. He is coming towards me. He has seen me. I'm just trying to get rid of the small ones. I'm completely missing. Flipping all over the place. Now, the problem is I might have been able to defeat this player had he not invaded right now. So that's a grab. The crabs aren't too bad. The big crabs aren't too bad. So if you see his mouth kind of water there, he's going to swipe with his left claw. So now it happens. He invades. You see, Seek and Destroy is the guy name. His name. And yeah, that spray is something you need to avoid because it slows you down. So I'm just thinking now I need to get the hell out of here and prepare for this guy to turn up. This was horrible timing. I'm trying to show you how to fight a crab. So yeah, they'll come and find you. If you get invaded by a player, they'll come and find you. Sometimes if you hide well enough as well, they'll leave. But there's no way to send them away, unfortunately. There he is. So we went double-handed. I saw he's double-handed on a greatsword, so he's going to be quite slow, and I'm obviously very quick. I could have easily finished him quite a few times. Like, I wasn't expecting that move then. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. He uses the crab as cover, which is quite annoying, to be honest. Like, now he's backing away. He knows I'm not going to come out there and fight him when the crab's there. And that's what kind of wins it for him, I think. That's the excuse I'm sticking with anyway. I don't want to fight you. Just go away. Like, I don't know. He got run away to heal, hiding behind a crab. It's not fair, really. I did fluff up. The reason he kills me is I fluffed up my last roll. You'll see it afterwards. It's not quite yet. He goes for it for a minute. He does actually have quite low health because that Estus jumped him right up there. I should have easily got him at this point. Look at that. Now he's panicking. If you have an play against another player and you get their health low, they're going to panic and run away just as you would. So now I try and go for the kill, try and get the run, and the crab hits me as I get the swing. I'm going for the swing, and then it gets me with that, which slows me down as he comes back in. And this is kind of where it all goes wrong. I've run out of Estus now. I can't move properly to get out of the way. Now it's worn off, so we're okay for a moment. And then he just kind of... oh no, I'll get another... Get his health down again. Very close. And then he swings that. I thought I was clear of his swing. I didn't roll. I should have rolled. I might have been able to win if I had. Had I have rolled. Anyway, I'm dead. So be it. At least he bowed. At least he didn't do the stupid pointing and sitting on my head or whatever. Anyway. You'll have to go back and get your souls, obviously, if you die. And use that opportunity to get a level from Yol. Make sure to purchase all the sorceries as well, because the point where he's dying is going to come up in the next couple of videos as well. So now we can actually carry on. Okay, so let's deal with this big crab now. Here he is. I like to stick to the side on this right hand side, and then kind of move to the front when I see what attack it's doing. The attack you want is that one. When it lifts both claws up and starts foaming, then it's going to do a spit. And if you go to move to the front and do quite a lot of damage using L1, you will be able to do a riposte on it. Yeah, I should have moved. Anyway. I mean, it's got, look, there's no health on that thing. Just about to do the grab. If it lifts just the right hand claw and foams at the mouth, it's going to do the grab. If it lifts both and foams at the mouth, it's going to do the kind of spray which slows you down. There are just two big crabs here. They're not difficult. Purple moss clump, that cures poison. I'm not going to use it here though. We'll use that later on. No point wasting it if you get hit here with poison. The little ones don't really do too much. They just get a bit annoying. So stick to the wall, the lower wall on the right, and look for a tree here. Watch out for that group of three. That's the group of three I showed you before. Go around the side of this tree, and then we can get the grass crest shield. This is a shield I like. It doesn't have 100 physical protection. It has 86, 85, something like that. Obviously, is it 89? Obviously not as good on that front, but what it does is the same as the Chloranthy ring. So your stamina is going to come back very quickly. So having it, if you like to go double-handed and just kind of dodge, then it's going to come in very handy for you. So this second crab we need to kill for a ring, so that's what we're going to do now. So same applies really. If you can get to the front, stagger it, get it with the riposte. And then don't get greedy. wait to see what it's going to do. Then you'll be able to finish it off. And once you do, you'll automatically get the Great Swamp Ring, which is a Pyromancy ring. That's going to increase Pyromancy damage for you. And we'll kill a few of these stragglers. And then we've basically come full circle now. There's where we went through the door on the right hand side over there to get the coal. This is a very important bit you want to pick up here. You have to sort of interact with it twice. Make sure you do to get the Great Swamp Tome. That's a Pyromancy Tome that we need to give in to get some more Pyromancies. You can see I'm kind of fat rolling there. That's because the water's deeper. So don't take enemies with you into that area. Some more green blossom there. You can see there's like trees with a light on. If you're embered, you will get invaded when you go near one of these trees. I think it's this one. It could be the one I've just walked past. Either one. You'll get invaded by Yellowfinger Hazel. She's the other NPC that we need to conflict with our Cirrus storyline. Unfortunately, there's no way. They overlap. So we don't need to kill her here, just in the lower section. So we don't need her to appear here, but we do need to appear in Farron Keep, which we'll do later. I was just checking my armor set. I'm actually going to change my armor set to the Falling Knight. It doesn't really have any benefits. I think it's actually lighter in some respects. Yes, it's not as good. I don't care. It just looks better to me. That's the reason I wear it. It's better in some respects, but I'm just checking I'm rolling nice, and I just think it looks cooler. That's why I'm putting it on. That's what I do with the armor in this game. These two NPCs quickly run up here to the top of the stairs, and then go down this ladder, slide down. If you're lucky, one will roll down after you and kill himself. I'm not so lucky. And then light this bonfire. This is Farron Keep. We're not going to do Farron Keep yet. I'm just lighting the bonfire so we can walk back here later. Just takes a moment. And obviously try and kill these two NPCs. So luckily they are coming down one at a time. You can hit them while they're on the ladder, and it sort of staggers them a bit. If you do enough damage, they'll fall. You see his sort of hand is, he let go with one hand. If you do enough damage, he'll fall off onto his back. The other one does it in a minute. Together, these guys are a real pain, or they can be. This guy's fast, the other one's a bit slower and hits harder. But alone, you can take care of them quite easily. This one will drop the Exile Greatsword. And the next one's going to drop the Great Club, which I think we actually have already. But he politely waited. He's only just started coming down the ladder. You see he's going to block my way. I start kicking him in the head. So back down we go, and we'll wait for him. It's very Bloodborne-esque, this armour. I think that's why I like it. So we're going to get this guy while he's on the ladder. And you can see him fall off. Such a random animation probably most people wouldn't see. Yeah, that's him. Simple enough. Great club. If you need to, obviously sit at the bonfire if you need more Estus flasks. And now we're actually going to carry on. There's just the one boss in this area. It's a very easy boss. But we're going to do a few more other bits. We're going to get an NPC to come back with us. That's why we need the 10 intelligence. Homeward Bone. This down here is where we got the coal. It's kind of... You'd see it through that gate if we hadn't already got it. That gate you can't get through. So everything's clear down here. A large soul. The other item there you can see we can't get yet. You have to kind of drop down onto it. I do actually forget it. It's a shield. It's the Falcon shield from Dark Souls 2. Get it if you want. It's not important that I kind of forgot about it. I might pick it up in one of the next videos. I'm just actually looking a bit paranoid because I'm still at this point. I'm still annoyed that guy managed to beat me. Annoyed, not annoyed that he managed to beat me, annoyed that I didn't beat him when I had the chance. I was just checking, I double picked up that item, make sure I got the Pyromancy Tome, so make sure you do have it. And I'm going to go back towards this building, go up the steps and continue forwards. This room can be really simple or quite annoying. There's no reason to actually fight these two if you've got a Ring of Sacrifice already, but I'm going to do it. There's a mage at the top, you can just see him with a big old hat there. Sometimes he'll drop down. If he does, great. If he doesn't, it's quite annoying because he does hurt, so you want to move out the way when he starts casting. The idea of me jumping down there was to get the one with the spear and the shield to drop down with me, and they're not having any of it. You need to separate them because you can't break through the shield and get to the one behind in time. You're going to see how much damage the sorcery does in a minute. So I just kind of went for it, trying to get some like that. Was a bit close. There, that's what we want. Come on, do it. Fall off. We want to try and get him to lunge forward as I fall, and he'll kind of follow me off like that. Separate, divide and conquer. It's a right mess. Yeah, I'm still, at this point, still thinking. Because obviously I was recording, and let's say that was added pressure as well. Usually okay with other invaders. Drop down here, you're going to get the Ring of Sacrifice. Now, halfway up those stairs, if you drop down, you may have noticed the wall is kind of broken. If you go through that break in the wall, that's how you get that shield that I kind of forget about. Well, it doesn't really matter. I was more interested in getting this crystal gem from the Crystal Lizard. That's the important thing. So we'll get that. Get rid of this guy. If you hit them enough times on the shield, it'll kind of push them back like that. If you move into them and press R1, you'll do a riposte. Now we're going to go up here and get... Nope, not there. There we go. This is Obrek. Well, so speak to Obrek. Say that you want to learn sorceries.
How intriguing.
And then promise him. So I'm skipping ahead in the dialogue here. So go through all his dialogue and make a promise. So what you have to do with Obrek is he's going to go back to Firelink Shrine now, and you need to bring him tomes, and you kind of promise him to bring him tomes in exchange for him teaching you spells. That's the idea here. If you don't bring him a tome, by the time you do Abyss Watchers, which is at the end of Farron Keep, he'll disappear forever, which is not good. Also, if you just do 4 bosses, I think it's 4... after hiring him, he'll leave as well. But we've not got 4 to go. So we're going to do another area which doesn't have one of these tomes, but there is one in Farron Keep. So we'll give him one then. But if he's not coming with you, it's because you don't have. If he's just kind of ignoring you, it's because you don't have 10 intelligence. That's the boss room behind me now. I'm just going to clean these out. You can see there was 2 sorcerers. If you take the right hand side, it's actually easier, this area, because the back one won't see you and come down. And now I'm just going to kind of connect the dots, the areas. So we'll go back out here. Just check there's no items I ran past. We're going to go into this other building. Annoyingly, this guy seems to always drop off. You could probably follow him down and go straight for that guy with the lamp. Or you can stay up here and try and take these 2 down. They're simple enough to kill. They're very simple enemies. But the one with the lamp is one of those ones that screams and wakes everybody up. And there's 3 or 4 down there. And they'll gang up on you, which you're going to see actually. So it screamed. I'm just kind of run down. I was too late. But never mind. So they're all going to wake up. They can sort of come up and get you, but they weren't playing ball today. Obviously the sorcerer is in the middle of them as well. We've got 1 to come up. I think that might actually be 4 down there then. So we'll do a drop down on the Sorcerer. And yeah, this goes... I thought there was an opening there, but they're a lot quicker than you think they are, these ones. Oh my god, look at that health. I've got nothing. There's nothing there. Heretic Staff, which increases sorcery damage if you've got it in your offhand. And then we're going to connect. So if you go out of here, you will kind of recognise where we're at. We're at that bonfire. So it's a little shortcut back to the boss if you want to use that bonfire. So all you need to do is run through here, run past everyone and run all the way to the boss. But we're also going to do a backup save because I'm going to use an Ember to show you that there is a summon here. So backups, I liked... Some people don't like this. I don't care. I do a backup save. It just saves time, especially when I'm recording like this, in case anything goes wrong. So I'm going to crack an Ember. If you don't want to, in fact, don't. If you're really struggling with this boss, Crystal Sage, then feel free to bring in Egon. You don't need him. Obviously, the health of the boss will go up, but this boss does not have much health to start with. So as long as you're quick and double hand, you're going to be able to kill them pretty quickly anyway. So unless you're really struggling, I'd just go in normal. So as the name might imply, get there in the end, Crystal Sage is a sage, so lots of spells. So you saw me pick up some blue bug pellets. If you pop one, it's going to give you extra magic resistance, which is good in this fight. It's not essential again, but it's always handy. Run in, always spawns at this back wall. Get the L1s out, get the shield on the back, and go for full damage on this one. Once you get into him or her, L1, just you have to kind of look around, wait to see where they're going to spawn. So they're going to do it this time. If you do enough damage in the first spawn, they'll miss this second spawn, and from then on they will bring friends with them, or they, she, he will bring a friend who will have blue magic as opposed to the purple. The thing with these guys is that they're dying in one hit, so it's actually preferable to actually spot them, hit them just once, and clear the way. So you'll just be left with you and the sage, kind of walking around this spiky thing here. It's chasing me. Now where it's just me and you, and done. So it's very simple. That's why I don't really advise bringing in a summon with this one, because you'll just give it more health, which the whole thing with this one is it doesn't have much health, so you can kill it quickly, because you don't want to be getting hit by magic. And that's where we're going to kind of leave it for Road of Sacrifices. We're going to do the next place we're actually going to do is going to be the Cathedral of the Deep instead of Farron Keep. And then from Farron Keep just kind of push forward. So you should have around 20,000 souls at this point.
Wow.
If not, I would probably say crack some hard souls just to get them up there. Because you want to get by this key, the tower key. We're going to get another Estus Shard. Before we go and do that, we're going to go and speak to our Pyromancy friend. And he's going to give us the welcome gesture. So that happens, I think it's the second time you speak to him. And then we're going to give him the tome that we found in the swamp. And he's going to be able to teach us new pyromancies. Yay.
I can boast I am your tutor a little longer.
So again, whenever you a new sort of thing happens with an NPC, a new you give them something new or they teach you something, just go into the talk option and go through all the dialogue. Just kind of move them dialogue forward, I suppose. Here's our friend Obrek. So he can teach you stuff at this point, but he's going to keep asking you about your promise that you've made. So quite a few sorceries he teaches now. There are 4 tomes we need to give him, 4 books. So go to the talk option, listen to him as well. So we don't want to break our promise. He will leave and he will never come back if we do. If you go past Abyss Watchers without giving him one. That didn't sound right, did it? Anyway, we're going to go and see our old friend Yol. If you've died a bunch of times, you might be able to get some free levels off him. I can't at this point. I think it's because I'm embered. But again, we're going to do all that sort of stuff before Abyss. Abyss Watches is kind of a line in the sand, almost like when you go cross it, when you when you go past it, things change. NPCs disappear if you've not done a certain thing. NPCs die, which is okay. They're supposed to, like Yol. So we're going to make, before we go and fight them, we're going to finish a load of stuff off, and yeah, so we don't miss anything. So we're going to go up and use the tower key. 20 grand this thing cost us. So it has kind of two parts to this. The tower, we're using the first part now. We're not going to do the second part. What a view. What a view. Yeah, that's how we're ahead. We'll do that later on. We don't actually need to do it at all. We don't need to go up it at all. We need to drop down it. Up at the top of that tower, there is the Firekeeper's soul. If you give the Firekeeper her soul, you will wreck our ending. So we're not even going to pick that up. We're going to completely ignore it. But for now, kick that ladder down, pick up the Homeward Bone, and we're going to go and see Rumpapum. And I think, yes, that is actually the name. So Dark Souls and Demon Souls have a crow. They all have a crow that you can trade things with. This one's Rumpapum. This is an Estus Shard we're going to pick here. So if you go near the nest, it will just start speaking. That's what's happening. Pumparum, not Rumpapum, Pumparum. So pick up the Estus Shard. Don't drop down, obviously. And we do a couple of trades here. So there's quite a long list of trades you can make. Most of the stuff is meh. We don't need it. But one thing we will trade is a firebomb. So do leave. Don't do discard. Do leave. Just a single firebomb. And you can tell when you've dropped something good because they'll get all excited. And you'll see instantly it'll change to a large Titanite Shard, which is excellent because we just need one more now to upgrade. And then do the same with a black firebomb if you've still got one, to get a chunk. Now if you don't have a black firebomb, don't worry about it. There's going to be plenty of chunks later on, but it gives us a bit of a head start. And then next, most importantly, we're going to go through this illusionary wall and drop down to get the Covetous Silver Serpent Ring. Now if you're struggling with souls and have the equipment load, maybe put this ring on, because it increases the amount of souls you get from every kill. So yeah, maybe worth wearing. It is quite heavy though for a ring. Next we're going to see this Leonhard guy. He's the one that gave us the cracked red eye orbs, the fragments. We're going to speak to him. He's going to give us a key and tell us about a full red eye orb that we can get. That we need to kill an enemy, which we're going to actually quickly go and do. It doesn't take long and not very difficult. And it's right back at the beginning of the game in the High Wall of Lothric. Just before that, now we have the 2 shards. We'll go and see Andre. We'll upgrade the Estus Flask a couple of times. Reinforce it. I know I only have 2. I know I only have 2, but I always check. I don't know why. I know I've got 2. But I'll always go and have a look. Can't upgrade, unfortunately. Only got the one large Titanite still. So from here we're going to travel to the tower on the wall. And we're going to go down. You may remember when we were here I mentioned a gate that we couldn't go through. We now have the key. That's the key that we have. So let that Lothric Knight leave. We don't want to be fighting him if we don't have to. Like this is one of the best parts of Dark Souls. When you go to the early game stuff, enemies that were giving you trouble, not that these were necessarily giving us trouble, but yeah, you can just cut through enemies. It's great. Like, I don't know how. I had my shield up then. I have no idea how he dodged straight through that. There is an axe guy down here. If you don't move towards him, you should be alright. He won't come after you. and then go and use the lift chamber key here, and go down the lift. And down here is going to be a new enemy type for us, unless you play Dark Souls 1. There's a Dark Wraith. They're kind of similar, very similar to the ones in the first one. You can see him just stood there. He's conquered all. These guys do hit hard, they are quick, and they have weird movements. You can't really get behind them. Sometimes they'll hold a red shield up. You're going to see me do a weird kind of... I kind of do that and jump towards him. I was dodging backwards then. I honestly was. I don't know why it did that weird movement towards him. But you should be able to take care of him pretty quickly using L1. They don't stagger easily, but you can break their movement if you're quick enough and do enough damage. Get used to fighting those. We're going to have to fight quite a few. They're one of the people we have to farm. We're going to see them in Farron Keep. We're going to have to farm them for Pale Tongues. Luckily not one of the Covenant items we need a lot of. And then we got the red Eye Orb. That's the full one. We can infinitely invade people now. And that's not why we've done this. We've actually done this to get a gesture. You're not going to be invading anyone. I hate it when it happens to me, so I'm not going to do it to anybody else. But obviously, if you want to do it, go for it. So we're going to travel back to Firelink, and then we're going to go and speak to Leonhard again. This guy might be here. He might have come back. Whenever he appears, exhaust his dialogue. He gives you new items and things now and again. So heavy gem this time. So just keep speaking to him until he's repeating himself. And then we'll go and see Leonhard, and he'll give us the applause gesture because we beat that Dark Wraith. And then he's going to tell you about Rosario's Covenant, which is the conflicting covenant with Cirrus. Basically, when you join the Covenant, which you have to do to get a certain NPC to be able to be summoned, it conflicts with Cirrus. She doesn't like that you're in Pale Tongue in the Rosario's Covenant, and she'll leave and become hostile, meaning you can't continue on with her questline. So I'm just dropping down here to do a bit of transposition. So you can see me purchasing the Crystal Hail Sorcerer here. Don't do that. Move to the right and buy the Crystal Sage's Rapier. That's going to help with item discovery when it comes to farming. Now, I'm not going to have it now, the Rapier. I've already spent that soul. It's fine. We actually need the Sorcery for a trophy. But I did forget that we do need to transpose the soul in New Game Plus, which is not going out of our way. It really isn't. But we need to use transposition again. So if you buy the Rapier this time, do your farming in New Game, what we're in now, and then in New Game Plus we have to fight the Crystal Sage again, and at that point then you can buy the Crystal Hail, and I will remind you of that. It's just going to come in a lot handier to be able to get that extra item discovery when farming. So I thought I'd mention that now. Yeah, so all I've done there is I've went and upgraded the bow a bit, because why not get some extra power on the bow, but only do that if you're finished, if you're moving on to large Titanite Shards with the Sellsword Twinblades. Yep, and that's pretty much it for this one. Just going to clean up my inventory a bit, put all the weapons and shields and things that I don't need, all the armor and that, and we'll be off to Cathedral of the Deep next. So thanks very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.